Welcome everyone to the 8th annual Can-Am Amigos Tournament. We have a full field this year, 72 players. That's the most we've ever had. So everyone, welcome. Okay, before we get started, I would like to talk about a fellow golfer, a dear friend and a fellow golfer we lost just recently. Many of you knew and loved him. Don Weber passed away just a few weeks ago after a long fight with cancer. Don actually was here just, I don't think it was more than 4 weeks ago, and played one last round with us. He was in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'd like to say a few words about Don. Don and his beautiful wife Jane lived up behind number 7 green for many years. Don loved golf and was the original organizer of our Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday game that we still play here. It grew from just a handful of players to where just a couple of days ago we had 21 players in the group. Don established a quota system that we used so that everyone, no matter what their level of golf, had a chance to win the big bucks that we bet, 50 pesos. Because Don knew that it was more about the game and the camaraderie than it was about winning or losing. Now, I'm not saying Don didn't like winning, because he did. And he did quite often. Don will always be part of our group because to this day, if you tee off on number 8 and your ball hits short and right of the green and winds up on the putting surface, that was a Don Weber bounce. That was Don's favorite shot, and he used it constantly. And we suspected in the evenings he went out with a couple of clubs and played number 8 and number 7 in a circle constantly, because he generally took a little money on number 8. He entertained the group with a number of stories after golf. He kind of had delivery the way Bob Hope did. You know, when he started talking, you really didn't know if it was a joke or a story, because he never started with, "Did you hear the one about?" That was not his style. He told us one time that he came down to the golf course and another golfer he knew said, "Don, I was playing number 7 yesterday and I bladed a chip shot and it flew over the green and went over your wall. I think it's probably in your pool." And Don said, "Oh," he said, "was it a Titleist Pro V1 number 4? He said, "Yes, that's my ball." Don said, "I'm sorry, I haven't seen it." He also liked to keep us current on world events and new technology, so he told us one time that he had read about a new camera the Japanese had developed that had amazing properties, and one of them was it had such a fast shutter speed, it actually captured an image of Joe Covelli with his mouth closed. And that was just a couple that I happen to remember. He had many, many more of those. Now I have a letter that Don, which totally fits his character. He wrote this letter before he passed, and he asked it to be read to his golf friends and buddies. "Almighty God, as we play through our 18 holes of life, we pray you will give us a drive that's both long enough to reach our goals, yet straight enough to keep us out of trouble. May we always keep in bounds. And when we've putted out on the 18th green, I pray it will have demonstrated the integrity of my character so that you will judge me worthy to join your threesome and play eternally on your heavenly course. If my parting has left a void, please fill it with remembered joy, jokes, and real stories. My life has been full. Wonderful children, good friends, good times, and a loved one's touch. Lift up your hearts and share with me. God wanted me now and has set me free. I'm prepared for the 19th hole. P.S. I hope there's a poker game there too." If you would please, just join us in a brief moment of silence for Don. Vaya con Dios, Don. Okay, now to the business at hand. Remember, Don's watching, so everybody play fairly.